Gods, Heroes and Us by James Sale is a call to rediscover the wisdom of the Greeks and to heed their warnings against hubris, disorder, and the abandonment of moral law. Sale argues that myths are not relics of a bygone age, but living narratives that speak directly to our deepest needs and challenges. By revisiting these stories, we can reclaim a sense of purpose, balance, and harmony. In its synthesis of ancient wisdom and modern insight, Gods, Heroes, and Us is a powerful reminder that the myths we tell shape the lives we lead. Sale's work is both a celebration of Greek mythology and a timely meditation on the enduring truths that can guide us toward a more meaningful existence. In a world increasingly dominated by technology, materialism, and the relentless march of progress, ancient myths often seem relegated to the realm of children's stories or outdated superstitions. Yet, James Sale's Gods, Heroes and Us challenges this dismissal with a resounding assertion. Greek myths are not only relevant today, but they offer profound insights into the human condition, moral law, and the structures that underpin our civilization. By exploring key themes and figures from Greek mythology, this book argues that these ancient stories are a lens through which we can understand our modern crises and reorient ourselves toward timeless truths. Sale opens with the defense of myth itself, confronting the modern tendency to equate myth with untruth. He draws on Karen Armstrong's perspective that a myth is an event that happened once but also happens all the time. Myths are living narratives, he argues, carrying truths that transcend historical or scientific fact. In doing so, they reveal what is often invisible: values, principles, and the spiritual dimensions of life. Sale critiques the modern reduction of truth to measurable material phenomena, warning that this approach has stripped us of deeper meaning and left us, adrift in a chaotic, disordered world. Through myths, Sale contends, we can reconnect with concepts of order, justice, and limitation, ideas vital for personal and societal flourishing. The Greek concept of hubris, for example, warns against overstepping human limits and defying higher powers, lessons that resonate starkly in an age of environmental crises and technological overreach. The Greek concept of hubris, for example, warns against overstepping human limits and defying higher powers, lessons that resonate starkly in an age of environmental crises and technological overreach. At the heart of Gods, Heroes and Us is the idea of cosmic order, exemplified by Zeus's victory over the Titans. Zeus's reign established a cosmos governed by laws, hierarchy and justice, offering a stark contrast to the chaos and violence of the primordial world. Sale explores how these principles remain essential for contemporary society. Without order, law and justice, Sale argues, we risk descending into chaos. A theme that's, vividly relevant in today's fractured political and social landscape. Yet Sale emphasizes that even Zeus was bound by laws greater than himself, oaths sworn over the river Styx and the decrees of fate. This acknowledgement of limitation, it really underscores a recurring theme of the book. True power does not lie in unbridled freedom, but in respecting the natural and moral boundaries that govern life. Zeus's establishment of cosmic order also serves as a profound commentary on hierarchy. Sale argues that hierarchy, so often maligned in contemporary culture, is actually an essential feature of any stable society. From the Olympian gods down to mortals and, the natural world, hierarchy reflects an intrinsic order that must be respected. Attempts to erase hierarchy, he warns, lead not to equality but to chaos. The Greeks understood hubris as the ultimate sin, a defiance of divine order that inevitably invites nemesis. Sale devotes 2 chapters to this theme, examining its manifestations through gods like Apollo and Hermes. Apollo, the god of light, prophecy and order, embodies the virtues of moderation, self-knowledge and balance. His 3 maxims, know thyself, nothing in excess, and surety brings ruin, serve as a blueprint for avoiding the destructive consequences of hubris. Through stories like that of Niobe, whose excessive pride led to the slaughter of her children, or Icarus, whose ambition brought him to ruin, Sale illustrates the dangers of ignoring these principles. The lessons are as applicable today as they were in antiquity: our unchecked hubris in the form of environmental degradation. Technological advantage and disregard for natural limits threatens the stability of our world. Sale expands on the cultural ramifications of hubris by examining its role in modern political and social movements. He critiques the so-called progressive ideology that seeks to transgress all boundaries in the name of liberation, warning that such movements often ignore the consequences of defying natural and moral laws. The myth of Icarus serves as a powerful metaphor for these tendencies. Soaring too close to the sun may feel liberating in the moment, but it ultimately leads to disaster. One of the book's most compelling arguments lies in its analysis of Hermes, the god of communication, travel, and commerce. Sale portrays Hermes as the archetype of the modern age, characterized by relentless speed, boundary crossing, and instant communication. While Hermes' attributes have propelled human progress, Sale warns that an over-reliance on these qualities, without grounding in the deeper stabilizing forces of order and justice, leads to superficiality, confusion, and moral disarray. Sale's critique, really extends to this modern obsession with transgression and, so-called breaking taboos. He argues that this cultural tendency, which is so often celebrated as progress, actually mirrors the kind of hubristic defiance shown by figures like Prometheus, who, as you might recall, stole fire from the gods. Such defiance, while it may feel momentarily liberating, often invites consequences that are frankly disastrous in the long run. This theme resonates quite strongly in the digital age, where the constant breaking of norms and the relentless pursuit of viral fame can, in the end, lead to societal fragmentation and a real loss of shared values. As the book progresses, Sale shifts his focus to the heroes of Greek mythology, culminating in an exploration of Odysseus as, the archetypal modern hero. Unlike Heracles, who represents brute strength, or Perseus, who symbolizes divine favor, Odysseus is a mortal man who triumphs through cunning, resilience, and adaptability. Sale argues that Odysseus' journey, it actually mirrors our own, a quest for meaning, identity, and, home in an increasingly fragmented world. Through Odysseus, Sale explores the idea of the soul's journey and the importance of endurance, resourcefulness, and humility. Odysseus' trials really remind us that true heroism lies not in supernatural feats, but in the everyday struggle to navigate life's complexities with wisdom and courage. This focus on human resilience, makes Odysseus an inspiring figure for a modern audience seeking guidance in a rapidly changing world. Another fascinating chapter introduces the relatively obscure god Kairos, who, represents the opportune moment. Sale contrasts Kairos with Chronos, the linear, quantitative understanding of time. In doing so, he highlights the importance of recognizing and seizing the right opportunities, a skill that's honestly crucial for navigating both personal and societal challenges. Kairos embodies the balance between preparation and spontaneity, teaching us to act decisively when the moment calls for it. Paired with Pandora's myth, which warns against curiosity and impulsiveness, the chapter on Kairos underscores the tension between freedom and responsibility. Sale suggests that while opportunities abound, they must be approached with discernment and a deep respect for the unseen forces that shape our lives. This reflection on time also invites a critique of modern culture's obsession with productivity and efficiency. By focusing solely on Chronos, we risk losing sight of the moments of grace and insight that Kairos represents. Sale encourages readers to, really cultivate awareness and patience, recognizing that the most meaningful opportunities often come unexpectedly. Sale's reflections on Apollo and Mnemosyne, the goddess of memory, delve into the transformative power of poetry and art. He laments the decline of poetry in the modern West, arguing that it represents a loss of connection to the divine and the invisible truths that govern existence. Through Apollo's role as the patron of the arts and Mnemosyne's association with the Muses, Sale champions the importance of creativity and memory in sustaining a culture rooted in beauty, order, and meaning. The Muses, as daughters of Mnemosyne, embody the interplay between memory and inspiration. Sale highlights how the arts not only preserve cultural heritage but also inspire future generations to seek higher truths. In an age of, short attention spans and superficial entertainment, the enduring power of poetry and storytelling offers a truly vital counterbalance. Gods, Heroes and Us concludes with a call to rediscover the wisdom of the Greeks and to heed their warnings against hubris, disorder, and the abandonment of moral law. Sale argues that myths are not relics of a bygone age, but living narratives that speak directly to our deepest needs and challenges. By revisiting these stories, we can, reclaim a sense of purpose, balance, and harmony in a world that often feels as if it's teetering on the edge of chaos. In its synthesis of ancient wisdom and modern insight, gods, heroes, and us is a powerful reminder that the myths we tell shape the lives we lead. Sayle's work is both a celebration of Greek mythology and a timely meditation on the enduring truths that can guide us toward a more ordered and meaningful existence. Through its exploration of myth, the book invites readers to confront their own lives and societies with greater clarity, humility, and a renewed commitment to the principles that sustain human flourishing. Thank you for watching. To view more videos in this series and more content from the Bruges Group, please subscribe to our channel. See you next time.